So we are so excited today to be catching up with our friend Dean Mojo Matati. So good to see you, Mojo.
It's good to be back on the show with you. It's been way too long.
I know we've missed you. I have to say one thing I'm noticing, I'm liking the hair. We've got a new look going on here.
Yeah, well, it's a new look every day because I literally haven't had hair since the year 2005, and I have
Oh my gosh.
absolutely no idea how to style it. So if anyone has any tips, let me know because I don't know if I'm doing a good job over
I'm
here.
sure you'll be looking at. I feel like I need an updated doll. I have my Mojo Rawley doll that sits here at our anchor pod at News 6. So you're always with us, even when you're not on the show. We always look to Mojo Rawley here. So a little different hairdo. Yeah.
A
Had to
little
show
less
you that.
scary looking now. I hope. I don't know.
No, we're excited to see you. And you have been doing so much. Just to update people. Let us know what you've been up to. I know you're on TMZ, you're doing charity work. You really are everywhere. It seems like every time we check out your social media, you're doing something else.
Oh yeah, it's been a busy stretch since wrestling. It turns out when you're not having to be on the road 300 days a year getting body slammed on your head, there's just so much extra time for activities. There's so many things you can do. So we're hosting TMZ Sports. Started a talent management company actually for professional wrestlers. So we have about 250 wrestlers that we manage,
Wow.
which has been going exceedingly well. And yeah, now we're working with Once Upon a Coconut, putting on the Once Upon a Dream charity conference.
And this Once Upon a Dream charity conference, this is coming up on September 15th at the Dr. Phillips Center. And just looking through the names of this, we're talking about huge names as far as motivational speakers. Tell us what folks can expect there.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is just going to be a really, really cool event. Doors are at 8 a.m. and the event starts at 9. I'll be hosting, so don't worry. For those of you that think it's early in the morning, that's why they put Mojo on the card. That's the one thing I can bring to the table, and then I'll turn it over to the true professionals. It was just an event that we wanted to do to give back to the community. Last year, we were able to do the Dream Mania wrestling show, which turned out to be really cool. We had a huge day of performances. Tommy Vexed and Flo Rida performed, and we had a ton of former WWE wrestlers wrestling alongside of Triple V, who became the first
Yes.
professional wrestler with Down syndrome to compete in an event. So that was really cool. But this year we're mixing it up a little bit, and we went out and booked, I believe, about a dozen of the world's top motivational speakers, in an effort to give back to the community and keeping everybody mentally strong. So it's really a who's who. Let me grab my list here for you, Julie.
Yeah.
But I mean, we got our guy Charlie Rocket, my former tag
Oh my
partner from
gosh.
Dream Mania last year. But we got John Gordon, Ben Greenfield, Ben Newman. I mean, the list goes on. We even got actually Tim Ballard, who is the real life hero behind the movie Sound of
Yeah.
Freedom, and he'll be speaking as well. So it's going to be a really, really cool event, a free event at the Dr. Phillips Center. So I hope everybody can make it.
I saw also, I have my Peloton. I'm all about Peloton. I saw Kendall Toole from Peloton will be there. I think that will be exciting for a lot of people too.
Oh, absolutely. I Is there a weight limit on a Peloton? Because I might have to start checking that out.
I know a lot of professional football players are on Peloton because on the Peloton boards, people will be like, "Oh, I did a ride with such and such." So I think that you could definitely make it
Oh, perfect.
happen.
I'm good then.
I haven't been riding mine much lately, so maybe you can rent mine from me for a few months.
Let's go. I got it.
And so I know that you're also giving free tickets to veterans and first responders for this event.
Yes. So the event it's obviously a free event. So, I mean, military, police, firefighters, teachers, I mean, we're giving away free tickets for everybody. Outside of that, anybody else that wants a ticket, all you have to do is buy a case of Once Upon a Coconut. So obviously tickets to a conference like that, I mean, they're usually in the
Yeah.
thousands of dollars. But for this one, it's just buying a case of the product, which we think you're going to really love and enjoy. I mean, for what we would say, it's the for what anyone would say, it's the cleanest, best tasting coconut water on the market. They have a bunch of different flavors. So we're confident that once you have a sip, you'll be very happy and satisfied with your purchase. So that's another gift we're giving to everybody.
All right. You have so much going on. Like you said, you have an agency, you host TMZ Sports. Why do you love doing stuff like this, the charity work? I know that you do so much that you don't post and you don't put out there, that you just do out of the kindness of your heart. Why do you love doing that?
I mean, I think that's what it's all about at the end of the day, right? I mean, that's kind of why you want to be a pro athlete in the first place, is so that you're in a position where you can enact change, where if you went and you spoke to a group of kids, they would be excited to hear from you and they'd actually listen to to what you have to say. And I think that's just part of what comes with the game. I mean, in the past, we've been able to do a lot of work with, the Down Syndrome Foundation and the Boys and Girls Clubs and a lot of different organizations. And when you do an event like that, you can immediately see the difference that you're making. I mean, for me, when I was a kid, I remember some of those very few times I met an NFL football player or a celebrity of some kind. I mean, their word was gold. I mean, I remember having a conversation with an NFL player when I was at a small Division III school, and he told me to transfer to a Division I school and really bet on myself if I wanted to have any shot at making it to the NFL. And I listened to him. Transferred to a D1. I made it to the NFL, was able to get a job with the WWE. And, I worked really, really hard for those things. But I can tell you, had I not received that advice at that point in my life, I'm not so sure any of these things would have happened. And you'd be talking to a completely different guy right now, if at all. So I know how far these words can go, and that's why it's so important to do what you can to give back. And that's why I love working with this team, John Chiarando and Charlie Rocket and the squad. I mean, it's really cool to have a group of friends. Tommy Vext as well, always performing at these events for free. I mean, it's cool to have a group of friends that really believe in doing good and want to collaborate on everything and come together in any way they can. And that's why 10% of all of these companies that we work with, all of that goes straight to charity, and that's a huge part of it. So it's all about that vision, chasing that dream, and doing what we can.
And you mentioned earlier Dream Mania last year, which we covered at the Dr. Phillips Center. Triple V, of course. How is Triple V doing? Is he still pursuing his wrestling career? I know that he was just so fabulous when we talked to him on News 6 at 9 and went to visit him at work. So what is he up to?
Well, Triple V, I mean, if you want to hear what Triple V's up to, maybe come on the 15th.
Is that a tease?
I mean, he may or may not be speaking. I mean, he does really well with a microphone in his hand, so it would be a crime if we didn't give it back to him. But Triple V is doing his thing. Actually, I believe he's going to be walking up and down a catwalk at a fashion show here coming up in Pittsburgh in October at the David Allen Fashion Show again, which will be very cool for him. But I mean, that guy, he might actually be the best motivator out of anyone speaking. The day after Dream Mania, after he main evented the show, he was in the office at 7 a.m. the next morning working, not celebrating or doing any of that. It was back to work focused. Just, man, what a great person. I can't wait to hear from him again.
That is awesome. So that is a great tease. Again, for folks who want to come out, tell us the when, where, and all that good stuff once more.
Absolutely. Friday, September 15th at the Dr. Phillips Center, downtown Orlando. Doors at 8 a.m. We're kicking it off at 9 a.m., going all the way to 5 p.m. So it's a full day to hear from the best, to get motivated, to get hyped up and try to become a better person.
All right. Well, Mojo, thank you so much. Always so awesome to catch up with you.
Julie, you're the absolute best. I love being on here with you. Anytime. I want to come back.